Welcome to another episode of RezX, an Indigenous lifestyle show for everyone. My name is Cadmus Delorme.
And I'm your co-host, Erin Goodpipe. On today's episode, we have the First Nations University of Canada annual powwow.
We will be interviewing myself about my chicken dance special that my family and I hosted.
And Pow Wow Streeters by Chris Ross.
Okay, wait, what was that? Was that your mating call?
I can't tell you, it's secret. Don't give it away.
Anyways, we will also move on to North American Indigenous Games. We have a great documentary that we're going to show.
As well, stay tuned. At the end of the show, we have a music performance by Kristi Lane Sinclair.
So let's get started. Our first story is on the First Nations University of Canada powwow. Check it out.
First Nations University in Canada, I know something the students have always told us is that our culture, our language, celebrating that, sharing that is very important. So I'm a faculty member with the university, but I also volunteer in the committee. The students have told us how important it was, and we got to have these kinds of ceremonies. Our dance count was over 700 this year, 19 drums, so it was well attended. One of our biggest powwows yet. On average, we get between 5,000 and 7,000, so we're going to be up in the high end, I imagine. Each dance style has its own history, it has its own story, it has its own culture. Each dance style, each dancer interprets that in another way. One of the things you'll notice that there may be 1,000 dancers out here, but not two of them will look the same. Everyone is going to be different. They express themselves in different ways. Their regalia, the color, what they wear, the sacred items they carry, all is a sharing of the culture and the knowledge that we have. So when we watch the dance styles, not only bring the history of that dance, but they bring the personality and the culture of the individual as well. This celebration isn't just for First Nations people. We want to celebrate with Saskatchewan and the rest of the world. So happy to see a lot of non-Aboriginal people attending.
This next story covers our very own Cadmus Delorme, who held a chicken dance special, which brought him into the powwow circle. Let's see parts of his journey.
Tonight marks 1 year that I've ever danced, and it's such a strong feeling. When you're out there, it's just everybody is supporting you and looking out for you. So you never have to feel afraid to be out there on the dance floor, and just knowing that you're dancing for people who cannot dance, people who have went on to the spirit world, that's who you dance for. You get such a energy from that even when you're done your dance, your feet are still kind of moving. This powwow marks 1 year I started dancing powwow, and something within you got to do initiation, what is kind of like a protocol to be welcomed into the powwow family. So this weekend, my family and I hosted an initiation prairie chicken dance special, and where the chicken dancers, I gave to them. I gave them my best. I gave them some money. That's the way we barter today. And I gave some blankets, and they competed for it. And now I am a part of the prairie chicken dance family and the powwow family in all. This powwow to me is, I'm a graduate of First Nations University of Canada. I work at First Nations University of Canada as a student recruitment officer. This powwow shows to me the history that SIFC, now FNUC, has. It shows me the alumni, I get to meet them. Current students, who are volunteering here, that's another way of education. And just talking to future students, out there on the POW, that's another education. That is not something you learn in classrooms. This is something you learn in ceremonies, and it's a big part of the holistic learning. That's what I love about First Nations University of Canada Pow Wow. If you want to dance, if you're thinking of dancing, try it out, because that's what I did. You know, I stepped up, someone lent me some regalia the first time, I followed protocol, so if you think you want to dance, then just go out and do it.
What a great story, what a good-looking chicken dancer. Our next story is our very own Chris Ross went to the powwow and did streeters by interviewing people on the importance of being at the powwow. Check it out.
Hey, what's up? This is Chris Ross here with RezX, and we're at the First Nations University of Canada annual powwow in Regina, and we're asking people what they love about the powwow and what they're loving the most about this weekend. All right, let's go. Excuse me. Okay.
Basically, seeing all of our young dancers, it's just been incredible to see the enthusiasm and the excitement with our young First Nations dancers here in attendance, seeing them in their costumes and their outfits, and just even the moves. Some of these dancers, even 3-4 years old, they dance just as well as some of our young junior dancers, and it's just a great sight to see. So I'd say that's my favorite aspect of the powwow.
What I enjoy is like coming back home, because I live far away. I live back in Vancouver. So what I enjoy is like coming to see my family and dancing with my family, and then also just enjoying the atmosphere, the people who I don't get to see all the time because I'm always traveling. So it's nice. That's what I like.
I love the atmosphere of everybody coming together. It's a nation building, the spiritual and the spiritual connection to the dancers, the drums. You get such a energy just being in the building, dancing, just watching or trying to snag whatever you're trying to do. There's just an energy throughout.
Definitely the dancing and the drummers, and also too just seeing everybody. It's like the first powwow after a long winter, so it's really fun and enjoyable to, you know, see family and friends that you haven't seen since last summer. So I've really enjoyed that. Also too, just it's a de-stressor, you know, so you can come and just, you know, dance and listen to the music and just kind of be in the moment and enjoy yourself.
Well, it's always the first powwow of the year in Indian country, and for me, that's always my favorite. And it's also mean it's a kickoff for powwow season. What I'm enjoying the most is that everybody gets to catch up from a long winter, and you get to see everybody's new outfits, and everyone gets to catch up and kind of plan the year ahead. Hey, I'll see you at this powwow, I'll see you at that powwow. To me, it's always been about that, because I grew up here. So, and I've always been part of the powwow circuit as well.
I think the best thing about the powwow is the fact that a bunch of people that you don't see very often are always here. So friends, family that you don't get to see all year, they're all here all weekend. You just get to visit and have fun with everybody. For me, that's the best part.
I think it's just seeing everybody. You know, all these guys on the powwow committee, and all the volunteers. We all went to school together a number of years ago. And I enjoy seeing my kids getting into it, and you know, it's just a lot of community. It's good to see everybody again.
The greatest thing would have to be just getting out of that winter slump and coming to the powwow and just getting into that new spring feeling, and just seeing all the new faces from last year, and just meeting everyone and seeing all of my family, my powwow family, and that's got to be one of the favorite things, coming here for prayer, for song, for dance, just coming together. That's my favorite part of this powwow.
Well, this is our culture, and as a veteran, when the warriors came back, the people would celebrate, and that's like the powwow that we're having now. All of our people, when they came back from World War I, II, or any conflict, that we celebrate for our veterans. And at one time, Canada tried to stomp that out, but when the veterans came back, we revived that, and a lot of our customs and our ways, when a warrior comes home, we have things that we have to do for them to help them to come back into the regular life. So anyway, Pow Wow is all of that and even more today because now everybody is starting to get more involved in it. I see all the little kids dancing, so I see it coming back. And a lot of the people that dance, they dance for those that are sick, those that are in the hospital, or the little people, those that can dance. So we dance for them.
Ow! Thanks, Chris. It was great to hear all the unique opinions about why Pow Wow is important to people. Why is Pow Wow important to you? Our next story covers the Sakewewak artist on the spot. You guys ever wonder what it's like to paint something? Take a look.
My name's Adam Martin. I'm from Sakewewak First Nations Artist Collective. Sakewewak is long overdue in partnering with the Pow Wow and having some practicing contemporary artists from the community displayed here at the annual Pow Wow. I knew I wanted to do some painting this weekend while I was here, and I was waiting for something to inspire me. I was thinking, and this is to do with the project that I've been working on for a while that the Sask Arts Board helped me out with a number of years ago. So I'm trying to complete that, and it draws inspiration from the land, but I keep wanting to tie in regalia. So without out copying designs, I think I'm more out for just being inspired by the patterns and the colors. I think I can do that without without literally copying, you know, other people's work or their traditional styles without fully understanding them. So this one in particular, I just thought a circle and I just let it go. And then the other one was just sort of, I just like staying abstract and letting it come out.
FNUiv Pow Wow. If you weren't there after watching this show, you felt like you were. There was a lot that went on. Next year, put it in your calendar, April, go to the Pow Wow. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
Indian nation, a proud legacy, a reminder of all that is old. Indian nation, keeper of a great.
Last summer, Regina hosted the North American Indigenous Games. RezX produced the legacy video. Check it out.
For the opening ceremonies, there were a number of moving parts, as everything will culminate into a 2-hour national broadcast on Access and APTN, and open with announcers preparing for the show ahead.
Hear that crowd? How excited is everybody to be here at the 7th Annual North American Indigenous Games here in Regina?
Can you hear them out there? It's great. Now we're going to bring you a great show. We're going to have entertainment acts like George Leach, Inez Jaxper, Plex, Crystal Shawanda, and the Saskatchewan Native Theatre Company. We're also going to introduce you to the many athletes that are here. There's over 5,000 athletes, Indigenous athletes here this afternoon. We're going to introduce you to them. We're bringing you online coverage and television coverage with a partnership between Access TV and APTN.
Thousands packed Mosaic Stadium with an opening performance from the Thundering Hills Dance Troupe. Soon after, all of the athletes began to march into the stadium. One by one, each team made their appearance, showing their colors and pride. The last team to enter was the host, Team Saskatchewan, led by Lac La Ronge Chief, Tammy Cook-Searson.
don't bow away. Face in the mask could be you or me. Like a pocket dog on the time and sundown star. Some even said I do wrong. Generations not yet.
It didn't matter if you were at home or at Mosaic Stadium. People were truly entertained. It would be an immense and exciting opening to the games. But in order to truly open the games, the official games flame had to be lit.
Show them some love, everyone! Your Lens Runners! The flame is now lit. The 2014 North American Indigenous Games have begun, and it has been quite an opening ceremony.
The next day, the competition began as most sports finally got underway at various venues throughout the city. The University of Regina hosted competitions like volleyball, wrestling, soccer, and basketball, which packed the gym every day. Down the road at Wascana Lake, water sports like kayaking and canoeing were held, both of which had amazing levels of competition. Other sports held throughout the city included badminton, baseball, softball, and lacrosse. On the outskirts of town, sports like archery, golf, and rifle shooting took place. Meanwhile, at the Canada Games Athletic Complex, teams and individuals compete in a variety of athletic sports like long jump, high jump, and running events like this race that came right down to a photo finish. Larger regions such as British Columbia, Ontario, and Saskatchewan were all in the hunt for the overall team championship. Other regions such as Team Eastern Door were challenging for top position in individual sports such as wrestling. In the end, Team Saskatchewan took the Todd Diabo Award for the highest team scores in the men's wrestling division. Smaller regions were dominating in certain sports, such as Team California in baseball. Meanwhile, at the First Nations University of Canada, the Cultural Village featured different performers every night from all over North America, like Crystal Shawanda, Inez, Constant Reminder, Digging Roots, Equal, Superman, and many others. The Teepee Village hosted cultural teachings in each teepee. There was also a trade show and an arts and crafts fair, attracting hundreds every day.
Wow, great filmmaking from our very own Chris Ross, who captured the essence of the North American Indigenous Games. Don't go away, we got more RezX for you.
Indian nation, a proud legacy, a reminder, oh, that is old. Indian nation, keeper of a great.
With us today, we have Chris Ross, executive producer to RezX, who also played a key part in the North American Indigenous Games. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Cadmus.
Chris, the video, the legacy video, what was the role and what was the mission of this video?
Well, I was put in charge of gathering hundreds of hours of footage from Axis when they shot the whole games. And then I also had to get together pictures, older videos, basically capturing the whole legacy of the Indigenous Games from when they won the bid all the way till when they started getting together a management team, to the event itself. So that's kind of what my role was in producing this.
Nice. So this was a 2-year project because when Regina won the bid, We had to do a lot of different preliminary and then during the games. So what your vision was at the beginning of this video, is that the outcome that you got out of it?
Well, I really wanted to tell the story. You know, at the end of the day, it's really like a marketing video for the next people that are going to take on the games, which is actually, I believe, going to be Toronto.
That's right.
So, yeah. So this video, I hope, will help them and anybody else that wants to do any kind of an event, but also tells the story of what Regina went through, what we had to go through in order to put on such a huge event like this, because there was a lot of obstacles, there was a lot of things that we had to overcome, but we did. And the kids had a good time at the end of the day, and that's all that matters.
Nice. Storytelling, a very big part of Indigenous values. If there's one part in the video that stuck out to you, what would that be?
I think the story of the Lance Runners, how it tells the story of how they traveled all over Saskatchewan, and the opening ceremonies was their last stop. But like, that was a very special moment, seeing that. But I think above all, the most important one was just at the very end, we're just seeing the kids have a really good time at the end through watching A Tribe Called Red perform. And
for sure,
you know, that really, I really love that.
For sure. If you can have one last message to that person sitting there wanting to make a video, what would you tell them?
Just do your research and just jump in, you know, like head first into the deep end and just, you know.
There you go, from Chris Ross himself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Cadmus.
Well, Erin, another episode is coming to an end. First Nation. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to comment because this is a Pow Wow episode, basically. And I'm so happy that you're initiated into the Pow Wow circle. Oh my God.
You know, the Pow Wow has a strong feeling. You know, you need friends there. You snag. Did you snag?
I can't share that with you. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Okay. Oh, I know him. Also, at the Pow Wow, we got to talk to other people about what their meaning to Pow Wow. What's your meaning to Pow Wow?
Pow Wow to me is it's a chance to connect with community. It's a chance to connect with who we are as Indigenous people, and it's just a chance to dance and be yourself. And I'm so excited. You inspire me, Cadmus, because I have aspirations of one day being initiated into the Pow Wow circle as a fancy dancer. So thank you for that.
Well, let me know what part I can play, because you know, putting on the special allowed me to learn, you know, a lot more about the Pow Wow circuit. Also, North American Indigenous Games. What a legacy left in Regina.
There's just so much to comment on, all the different youth coming out. It's so empowering to see them be active, be engaged, be involved, and just to hear what they're bringing from their communities. I'm so excited for next year's.
They had 27 tribes throughout Turtles Island. Best athletes in Turtles Island, future Olympic athletes. Time will tell.
I'm really excited. And you know who the best are?
Who's that?
Which nation? The Sioux.
Yeah, you never met the Crees.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. One episode we'll have to have a Cree versus
battle it out.
Dakota. So with that, another episode comes to a close. We got the Red Ride Tour. Kristi Sinclair. Enjoy.
Woo!
Can't stop us now. your blood with your jaw. Can't stop us now. Let's go that happy love. Since I've seen you all, seen your eyes, seen your light. Is that all I wanna do? That is that today. Thank you so much. I'm Kristi Lane Sinclair, and these are the Gold Bond Jiggles.
Afterwards, we go into the sash dance, which is a competition dance that's done for fun and for sport, just as a pastime. That is a dance to St. Anne's Reel.